Time is of the essence. Time stops for no one. It continues and continues. It keeps going. So I really wanted to figure out, how can I get my day to feel more relaxed, more focused, more in control? Because at the end of the day, the time that I have is mine. All right, let's get into it. I think all of us have experienced what it feels like to have the entire day just get away from us. It seems like we just lost complete control of time, and you find yourself thinking, there's no way there's 24 hours in the day. There's just no way. Because you look up, it's daytime, and you blink, and it's nighttime. It's a lot with all the different tasks and obligations that we all have. So that's why I could feel just like this whirlwind of just like, what is happening? It's very, very overwhelming. As a musician, I experienced this a lot between having sound checks and gigs, teaching private lessons, working on music, having to record. If I don't properly plan, my entire day is literally going to just feel like a big ball of just, what in the world is going on? So to avoid that, I took the time to just sit down and analyze what I can do to control my time. Time is of the essence. Time stops for no one. It continues and continues. It keeps going. So I really wanted to figure out, how can I get my day to feel more relaxed, more focused, more in control? Because at the end of the day, the time that I have is mine. So I need to learn how to control it. So in the time I sat down to do some much needed self-analyzation, I found things to implement into my routine to make my day better. Here are 4 habits I developed to maximize my time. Habit 1 is that I get out of bed. I wake up and I get going. A lot of people, they grab their phones, turn off the alarm. They either start scrolling. Some people just flat out go back to sleep. It's just a lot of time can be wasted just laying in bed in the morning, as opposed to, boom, turn your alarm off, get going, freshen up, and get your day started. Getting out of bed is such a game changer. I promise y'all, it's a game changer. With that also comes waking up earlier. If my day doesn't start until 8 a.m., I'll wake up at 6 a.m. That way I have time to gather myself. Some people wake up in the morning and they leave no room to get their mind together, to see how they're feeling internally. So you just instantly are starting your day chaotic. Waking up earlier gives you a chance to observe what you want to do for your day. You can also use that extra window of time to do the things that you personally just feel like doing. Sometimes I read books. Sometimes I meal prep. Sometimes I just go sit on the couch and meditate in silence just for a little bit. Because for me, that's good. That little moment of time where I'm just hearing the sounds of outside. Very much needed. Very much needed. And that way I'm starting my day grounded and at a nice pace, as opposed to always feeling like I'm in a rush. That was a very bad habit of mine. I got used to always rushing somewhere. It'll be days where I could very well take my time, but I would just be in that space of just like, oh, I gotta hurry up and do this. I gotta hurry up and do that. Not a good feeling. You're just living in a state of anxiety. And the quick fix of getting out of bed, that simple habit, changed the game for me. So with getting up a little earlier and leaving a window for just myself to do what I want, I start every day at peace. I promise y'all, it is a game changer. Try it. Habit number 2 I developed is planning and scheduling my day. Yes, 100%. The day before, I am already looking at everything I have to do and I'm putting it in a calendar. I am putting it on my calendar. I personally have to do that because trying to remember, oh no. Oh no, 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 no. That is a recipe for disaster, because you'll be on your way to an obligation and then you'll be like, ain't I supposed to be doing something right now? And then it'll hit you. Oh, I forgot to do XYZ. That has happened to me one too many times. Now I'm scrambling, making phone calls, sending out texts saying, I'm so sorry, I forgot, I ended up. Now I gotta explain myself. No, it's just a stress ball. So for me, planning and scheduling with a calendar has helped tremendously. That way I can see exactly what I have to do, put the time frames, see exactly when I need to do what I have to do. And I also get to see the windows in the days where I might have little pockets of time. We'll touch on that later because that's so important. But yes, planning and scheduling. You do not want to start your day blindfolded. You do not want to start your day like that. It is a mess. And that is exactly how you end up feeling like you're not in control of your time. Because it's like, imagine it's 9 a.m. Okay, you go into work, go do what you got to do. And then next thing you know, an alarm goes off. And you're like, oh, in 30 minutes, I got to go here. So now you didn't plan for that window because it slipped your mind. But imagine if you just already had it in your calendar, already had the time, set date, and on top of that, you had an alarm set for it too. Alarms! Use alarms, people. Use reminders. They have helped me so much. I am the person that needs alarms for everything. If I were to show you all my my alarms on my phone, you would think I'm crazy. You would definitely think I'm crazy, but it works. And it keeps me in a relaxed state. If not, I'll be very anxious about everything. Some people just need a daily reminder at the top of the morning, like, hey, here's your to-do list. I'm not one of them people. I like to have hourly reminders because it keeps me on track. So do what you have to do that's best for your mental state. For me, it's a lot of alarms, and it's using a calendar or a planner or a journal, whatever. Just use something to plan and schedule your day so that you can see in full what your 24 hours is looking like. And with that, we can segue right into habit number 3, realistic time frames. This has saved me so many times. I'm the kind of person I tend to get overwhelmed, anxious, very stressed out if I do not leave wiggle room or leave room for error or leave room for peace of mind. Yeah. So we were talking about planning and scheduling your day. In that whole schedule, you want to make sure that those windows of times that you have to get from A to B or from phone call to phone call has a little window so that you can either gather yourself or a window to just get there. A lot of times I see people stacking stuff like right on top of each other. They have a 4 to 5 p.m. and then they have a 5:15. And I'm like, wait a minute. If you have a 4 to a 5 p.m. and then you have a 5:15, in that little 15-minute window, what's happening there? And they'll say, oh, it's a quick drive down the street. Oh, I'm like, you just giving yourself no time to just take in what you just did and just gather yourself. It's just instant. I feel like it's instant stress. So I'm like, as you're planning and scheduling your day, give yourself reasonable windows of time. Do the 4 to 5 and then schedule 6 p.m. I'd even be nice and say schedule 5:30, just so that you have a time to simply go just for 5 minutes. The habit of creating realistic time frames has taken off so much stress from my mind, my body, and my soul. I always leave room to be at peace and to gather myself. It's so important. And it leaves room for error in case there's traffic. You never know. How many times have you been late to an event and had to say, oh, I got caught in traffic? You knew it was going to be traffic. You always know it's traffic on Tuesday at 3:30. So plan for that. Leave room for error. Leave room for successful planning. We have to plan and schedule with a purpose, and that's why having realistic time frames is very important and has saved me a lot of hassle. And now I find myself being on time to a lot of things because I did have an issue with being late. I'm going to admit that. I had an issue with being late. But now, because I plan with a purpose, I plan with a purpose. And in the purpose comes thinking logically and setting time frames that are realistic. And now for habit number 4, my non-negotiables. There are just certain things that are a must in my schedule. Point blank period. There is nothing anyone can do to disrupt what I have set in stone to happen every single day. There are just some things I will and I must do. I'm a musician, so there are things like practicing. I also am very big on my health, so I'm definitely going to the gym. No one's messing with my gym time, okay? Personal time. I need my personal time. That is just I need that. I personally need that. Some of y'all might not need that. I need that. I need that window of time where I am by myself in a room just like this. It's quiet. Whether it's a bathroom stall, I find an empty hallway, I find a corner. I don't care. I need my little window of time for just me. Even if it's just me going to sit in the car. It is very, very important. Those are just a few of my non-negotiables. It's important to have them because at the end of the day, life be lifing. Stuff happens. Stuff comes out the blue. And then on top of that, you have people who think the world just revolves around them. You know, to them, you know, it's their world. You just live in it. So they think they could just disrupt whatever you have planned. I'm here to say, set boundaries around that. Yes, boundaries. I love that word. There has to be things that you set for yourself where you say, I am doing this every single day. Now, I'm not necessarily saying that you have to set an exact time those things happen every single day, but you can. You can look and see, okay, I have all this to do today. Maybe I need to work out at 5 a.m. Maybe that's the window that you have because, you know, realistically, working out after you get done work, y'all know most of y'all ain't doing that. You know, so realistically, you might have to work out at 5 a.m. If you're like me, a musician, and you want a window of time to practice, you might be slammed with rehearsal all day long and then realize, oh, my lobby call to rehearsal isn't until 12 p.m. Maybe I could practice at 10. Go get something to eat. Boom. In order to do that, you got to do what? Get out of bed. But yes, so you got to have your non-negotiables and actually implement them and set boundaries around them so that they actually happen. It's very important to keep your non-negotiables strict. Be strict. Yes, be strict with your well-being. And like I said, if your non-negotiables can be put on a schedule, have those boundaries around them. Don't let anybody change them. Nobody. Now, in the midst of you gathering your non-negotiables and really standing on your non-negotiables and not letting anybody derail you from your non-negotiables, you'll find yourself in a routine. That's what we want. We want a routine. That is the goal. That is the prize, is to find your routine. And or you could be a person like me where your schedule is different every single day, but I still have a routine. I get out of bed. I plan my day. I know what I'm doing throughout the day. I pace myself and I make sure I have realistic time frames. Pacing is so important for me. And I have my non-negotiables. So those are the 4 habits I developed to maximize my time. I start my days with peace. I end my days with peace. And I want that for you all as well. And when time feels like it's running away from you, go get it. It's yours. Take control. Maximize your time.